Hello friends and family of YouTube, and today I am going to try to build me a table to go into my RV. I've been wanting to get one of those, I think they pronounce it Lagun tables, but man, those things are anywhere from 170 bucks up to 200. So I'm going to see if I can't build one, and if I am able to build it, I think it's probably going to be about $20. So I'll show you how I do it and let you know if it worked out. So let's get on it. Right, well, I'm going to show you what I've got to work with here. I bought this wooden dowel. This is a 2-inch wooden dowel, and I got this at the Home Depot, and this was about $7 or $8. So this was the most expensive thing I'm going to be dealing with today. Also got these two clamps here that will make a little more sense here in a little while when I get a little further along in the project, but these were about $2 for the pack of 2. And I got a hole saw bit, I think is what they call that. That is a 2-inch, which is also the size of this dowel here. And I think that was about $7 or $8. So if you've got that already, then of course you're going to save that much more money. So anyway, let me get on to the next step and I'll show you what's going on. Well, I think to make my table, I want to use this piece of walnut that I have here. It's about 1 inch thick and looks like it's somewhere around 7 to 8 inches wide. So what I will do is I will decide what table length I want. I'll cut this to that length, and probably 2 of these wide will be about the width that I want the table. So anyway, let me go ahead and figure out what size I want on this table, and I'll go ahead and get this cut up. Well, I got these 2 pieces. I run them through the planer, and with the 2 pieces together I get 14.5 inches this way and 22 inches that direction. So what I'm going to do now is I have a rough edge here, and you can see that it's even collected sawdust on there, and that's because it is rough. So if you was to rub across that, it would snag your shirt, or might even splinter you up a little bit. So I have this file that is a 4-in-1. If you notice, it's got a very coarse edge here, and it's got a kind of a fine edge here. Well, this has a rounded side on one side of it, but it's also got a flat side on the other. So I'm going to use the rounded side, and what I'll do is use the rough side first, and I will take this at an angle like that right there, and I will go all the way down through this entire board on both sides, both edges, and that will round it off. And then I will take the fine edge and run that through here. And it takes me about 1 minute to do this, but man, I tell you what, it sure does make a lot better finished product. And if you have a router, you could do this in seconds with a router. But if you don't have a router, you can go to Walmart and get this for $4. So this is a poor man's router right here. And now you're looking at the bottom side of the table. I'm building it upside down. That's the best way to make a table, to be honest with you. At least I have found. So this will be the side that connects to the pole that it will rotate off of. And you can see that I put a couple of strips down through here to give it some leverage and keep this all as one. And I'm not through. I'm going to put some screws in here in just a few minutes, but right now I'm just using this for temporary because I'm wanting to cut a certain shape out of this table. And if you notice, I did run one vertical and one horizontal, and that way it works kind of like an I-beam. Once I screw these in there, it definitely will give it a lot more strength and keep these boards from wanting to separate from each other. And it's not a bad idea to use glue if you've got some wood glue as well. And as you can see, I cut the table to shape, and the reason I cut it to this shape is so that as you're walking by this table, this direction, it's not going to gouge into the side of your leg And also, if you came out of the bed and you walked by this way, you would have a rounded edge as well. So what I'll do is do just like I did earlier. I will take that 4-in-1 file that I showed you, and I will round off this edge all the way around here so that it's nice and smooth, and it'll be a whole lot better look. And also, I'm going to make this table to where it rotates. So as it rotates, this will be, as you walk by the table, that will be the direction you will walk by it. It will be a little bit of a funny shape, but I want it to where it's still usable, that you could definitely be able to put a plate here, put your drink there, and maybe a cell phone or your forks or whatever over here. So I'm not trying to make a huge table. I'm just trying to make one that's functional and still be able to get out of the way. Because if you recall, my RV is very small, and if you've not seen it, I will show that to you now. There's my RV. So it's only 14 foot long. So for me to get a table in there that's out of the way yet still functional, I've got to make a very small table. Well, I got all my edges around here rounded off the way I wanted them, and got it sanded down and everything, and put me a clear coat on here. I went with a semi-gloss. I didn't want it too glossy, so anyway, semi is going to work out pretty good for me. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this up for a total height of 33.5 inches. So now what I have got to do is cut down this dowel to that length. So 33.5's my magic number. You may want yours just a little shorter, but anyway, I think 32 is standard height, but for me that's kind of what I'm wanting, maybe because I'm a little bit taller. So anyway, let me cut this down and put it together. Okay, you can see that I took this and I pounded it through. I turned the table upside down and just pounded on the end of that pole to make it come up through here. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to drill holes through here to run a dowel going across, and that way that will keep this from ever wanting to collapse. You know, with it being inside this trailer and closed up, it's gonna get hot, it's gonna get cold, the wood will shrink and expand. It'll go through a lot of changes. So even though it's tight fit now, I still want to have a dowel or a screw. I'm undecided right now, but that's my next move, is to get a piece going through here that'll go all the way across in here and keep that to where it'll stay in one position all the time. Okay, now I'm going to show a trick to you that I have enjoyed using. I've got this dowel rod that I am going to stick through here, and to decide which one of these drill bits is the right one for the job, what you do is you pull out the drill bit out of the case and see if the dowel will fit into the spot that the drill bit came out of. And if it does, you know that you've got the right size drill bit. Because let me show you, if I pull this one out, it will not go into that hole. So I know that drill bit would not work. So I'll use this one here and be able to get it done right. And this is what it looks like when my couch is taken apart. So what I have done is I have put me a bracing back here so that I can bolt this table to, and here in just a minute that'll make a little more sense to you. So there it is. I've got these two clamps that go around the pole, and those I've got it bolted inside of here where I put that extra bracing at. Maybe you can see it a little better that way. So now you can see it hanging over the bed, or over the couch, I'm sorry. Let me put the couch together and I'll show you this thing in action. And here's the table in position, and let me show you what it's like when you want it out of the way. You can turn it this direction, and now what you get is you're able to pass right by there without bumping into the table. And you can still have room to sit over here and use that as an armrest or a side table, whatever you want to do. So And yeah, I am really proud of this. To know that this table would have cost me nearly $200, but I'm getting the same thing made right here in my backyard for 20 bucks. And it matches so well with the decor in here. If you notice, everything is a dark color. Well, a dark natural color. So earth tone matches right in there with it. So I'm loving it. And there's what it looks like fully installed. And don't recall if I mentioned it, but I did cut off 2.5 inches. All I did is have to pull this bar straight up, and it comes right out of the clamps. I cut 2.5 inches off of it, and now it's perfect for me. So anyway, if you're wondering why did I have to put a table in here to start with, well, originally the layout here in this particular trailer, this is the dinette. The dinette makes into a bed, and all you had was a couch and a dinette, and then you would make your dinette into a bed. So what I did is I put a twin size bed in here, and I put a little bit of foam back there on the back side to make it a little larger than a twin size bed. 2 adults can sleep in here, but basically it's just been me and a little bitty dog. But anyway, this is going to work out great now that I do have a table. And man, if you're sitting right here, you can get in and out real easy. If you're sitting over here, you can get out in and out real easy. And both of you's got an armrest there. So man, yeah, I'm really proud of this thing. So saved quite a bit of money. I think I had a hat on when I started this video. Man, I broke a sweat today now. Whoo! Well, I've got a favorite saying, and my favorite saying is, it's not how much money you make, it's how much money you do not spend. Today, I did not spend $200 to have me a table. I spent somewhere around 10-20 bucks, and I think it was $20. So I'm 10 times happy. 10 times happier because I saved that much money. Folks, I appreciate y'all spending some time with me today, and like I said, I've got a video coming up real soon. Will be a solar install. Right now it's on the way here. It's in transit, so as soon as that thing gets here, I'm going to get up on the roof, put it on. Thanks again for spending some time with me. Hope to see y'all real soon. Take care. Bye-bye.